G'day team, Adam Cogan here. Tonight, .NET Conf was awesome. .NET 7 is finally live and Next.JS is now 700 times faster than Gatsby. All that and more in SSW Tech News coming up. This is Adam Cogan and I'll see you shortly. All right, g'day team, we have plenty of news on tonight. We have a great talk coming up after me, and that is about .NET MAUI and how we can share code across our entire code base. We've been wanting this session for about 15 years, I think, ever since mobile development came out. And the man presenting it is Matt Goldman. Matt Goldman is the man who wrote the MAUI book, so that should be a great session. First piece of news I want to tell you is .NET Conf, a great session. All the sessions are up online. I'll just play you just a tiny bit.
So what we've done is we've added a bunch of new features.
Absolutely amazing.
.NET is a general purpose framework for building all of these types of applications.
You can be productive and code and build your UI quickly.
What?
Hi folks, how are you?
And the home screen shows you the sauna temperature.
And you can see down here on the lower right, it now knows the garage door is open.
Let's jump into the code now.
The .NET community has just always been a great community to be a part of.
This really is a state-of-the-art technology.
You can actually download this right now.
And get right to the code.
All right, so that gives you a little taste of what that was, and all the sessions are up there. You can have a look. I think you'll really enjoy it. Some great sessions. And the big news is .NET 7 is finally out there, live. We can use it. So that is awesome. Let's have a look here. We can see the big things in the release: ASP.NET Core 7, EF Core 7, MAUI, Windows Forms. They've even updated Windows Forms, WPF, and All-in 7. Now that's a new one. And I will tell you that their major themes are that they are supporting ARM chips, they're supporting Linux, there's a lot of productivity improvements. We have like a lot less code now. They've simplified with C# 11. And the big one that we all care about is this is the fastest version of .NET ever. It's significantly faster than .NET 6. They're pretty excited about it. If you go down here, you'll see the one base library. You'll hear about this in Matt Goldman's session. But then there's a whole lot of things here about how the performance has really improved. And anything that's lower is faster, and that's really exciting. Okay, and it goes on and on and on to show you the performance. Next piece of news. GitHub Universe is their big conference. Those sessions are online too. There's a lot of talk there about how you can use Copilot. Almost all the developers at SSW are using Copilot a lot in their day-to-day work. They use it more than just coding. It helps with just writing normal sentences, believe it or not. I see some people just using it for Markdown. It's in their daily work. They talk a lot about that, but if you scroll down here, you'll see that they are also talking about collaboration. And here's the big one that they talk about: GitHub code spaces. And I want to just dive into that for a second. So code spaces. If you have a beefy laptop running Windows and Visual Studio 2022, you're in heaven. Everything works. But if you're not, or you're away, and you have to dive into somebody else's computer. We've even had new developers turn up with the latest and greatest MacBooks, an M1 chip or an M2 chip, and we've put them on a project that has, say, .NET 4.6. They're in hell. So obviously we need to get it to .NET 6 or .NET 7, but that doesn't happen overnight. So now you can get the power of the cloud and your entire environment is there. We are already using code spaces here for our employment tests. So when people come up and they don't have the computer with everything they need or whatever, this is a great solution. And Microsoft are giving us, or should I say GitHub are giving us, 60 hours of free time to use it. So that will give you plenty of time if you start it and stop it and you use it judiciously. You'll get a good try out from that, and you work out whether you like it. But it is pretty cool. Okay, certainly would allow you to start doing a whole lot of development on an iPad, say. Okay, so that's cool. Next topic I want to talk about is dictation. Now, we have a few developers in the company that use Siri a hell of a lot. Yuli in our office uses this dictate in email a lot, and he did a video on how he does that and why he thinks that's awesome. I actually rarely use this in Windows, but he used it very effectively writing good letters. Now, GitHub now have this write code without the keyboard. Now, it's pretty cool. Let's check it out.
Import pandas. Hey GitHub, insert new line. Get Titanic CSV data from the web and assign it to the variable Titanic data. Clean records from Titanic data where age is null. Fill null values of column fair with average column values. Drop duplicates from the frame Titanic data. Hey GitHub, new line. Plot line graph of age versus fair column. Change to scatterplot. Show plot. Hey GitHub, exit code mode. Hey GitHub, run program.
All right. Is that impressive? Who thinks that's fun? All right, I think I've sold half the audience here. I'd love to know what the people online think. Throw it down there in the comments if that's a +1 or a -1. I definitely want to know if you think that's got usage. Now, obviously, it's got accessibility usage, but there's got to be some other cool scenarios with the convergence of GitHub Copilot and being able to do this. That's very, very cool. Now, on that topic, and Yuli gets another mention here. He did we do a lot of videos, but this was just one on Outlook searching, which I didn't think would be popular, but people really liked it. And it just basically says how he uses. He's got like over 1 million emails, and he has this video on how to do that. Searching is a pain in the neck. And when you use searching inside Outlook and you put a word there, it will prioritize it based on whether it's in the subject or whether you use it a lot, how it's referred to, and it'll put emails at the top. When you're searching for code in, say, Visual Studio or in GitHub, and you put a word there, historically it's got the word and found some text that matched the word. Now, searching is getting a little bit more intelligent now. So let's have a look at what GitHub are doing. They've got an all-new code search and code browsing experience. We'll have a look down here, but they go through a number of scenarios, and I'll just take you through a couple of basic ones. So I can specify the repo and then say, in that repo, I want reactive. And rather than just find some lines of code with the word reactive, it prioritizes, say, the function reactive. That's what I was looking for. I click on that. And then they have this nice experience here where you can kind of have a little bit like exploring in a report where you can slice and dice. So you come in here and say which language you're after, click which folder you're primarily after, and then rather than just list one at a time, it puts 3 little code snippets here. And that's kind of helping. And you can change the sort order based on best match or most recently updated or whatever you're looking for. So this is a much nicer way of finding code. And they go through a number of other scenarios just to show you how much effort they're putting in that. And just continuing on for that, because you'll want to try this out, I would recommend you come in here and watch this video. This video here, I'll just click it just so you can see. It's about 12 minutes, and the man presenting it is the man in charge of code search, and he goes through a whole bunch of scenarios, and I think you'll really like it. On this page, They spell out some examples of how this is working, and then they have some how suggestions work, and then the different types of syntax. Similar to what Yuli talked about in the Outlook one, all the different ones, like how to search for emails in a certain date range or subject colon, etc. Knowing all these syntax options is really important, okay? And yeah, so he goes through a whole lot of different things here. So that's pretty awesome. Next piece of news is ML.net. Now, we have a couple of guys in the company that really like ML.net. We now have .NET 2. I guess the biggest thing is it supports .NET 7. So that's the number one reason to get it. There's a number of other nicer features that round out using ML.net, which if you're into it, you will probably like it. So that's good. Next piece of news. Let's have a look at this. PHP in Visual Studio. WTF? We want this? Is this a problem? So we now can... I'm not sure the reason that you want to be doing PHP, but if you want to be doing it, you want to be doing it in Visual Studio, apparently. That's like cars having a new feature that you can drive without brakes. Not that you should be doing it, but if you're going to do it, you may as well do it in a Tesla, right? So there you go. Next piece of news. We now have a new product coming out that you're going to hear a little bit more of soon. It's called Fleet. It's done by the coolest company out there, JetBrains. And what is it? What is Fleet? Well, 137,000 people have tried it. Most of our Brisbane office have tried it for some reason. And I think they're JetBrain fanboys up there. You can try it out. I'll give you the long story short. It's a VS Code competitor. Not sure why we need one. They charge for this, and it is not as good as VS Code. So that's from the boys in Brisbane who have been trying. Now, we shouldn't be harsh. This is brand new. I'm sure VS Code wasn't awesome when it first started, but you know that's where they're spending their time, making a VS Code competitor, which can only be really good if you ask me, because you know if Google didn't have Bing, Google would be worse. You know, if VS Code doesn't have a competitor, it will be worse. So try it out. Let's find out what's cool about it. They must have had a reason to do this. All right. I would like to tell you the next piece of news is Next.JS. Now, Next.JS is a static site generator. We love static site generators. That is a static site generator, and the Next.js version is now apparently 700 times faster than Gatsby. All right, that's the news. I thought Gatsby was pretty performant myself, but that is incredible news, and so that is a big unique selling point of Next.js. Now, I might finish off with a little bit of news, and that is something that just happened just now is SLS. Let's just see the new rocket. That is the big news. It has just released as we've been doing the news, and it's heading off to space. So this baby is bigger. Oh, have I got a photo? Oh gosh, there we go. It's even bigger than Elon's Falcon Heavy, which is he won't be happy about. I can't wait to hear the tweets. Oh, we did a news without talking about Elon and Twitter. That's incredible. We haven't done that for a while. Anyway, so if you, hopefully you enjoyed the news. There's lots and lots of good news out there this month. If you want to see this or any prior news, you can see it all on SSW TV. There's lots and lots of great sessions. And we have a great session coming up by Matt Goldman, who's going to be talking about .NET MAUI. He's going to be talking about how we can share our code across an entire code base. So throw your comments down there if I missed any news or if any news was particularly cool, and I will see you in the next one. This is Adam Cogan signing off for SSW TV.